Hello and welcome to the Irish in the UK. Coming up on the show this week, Stretford Victoria Club is celebrating 40 years in existence. We'll be chatting to James Keenan and Chris Whitehead, who have organised a very special fundraising walk to raise money for the Alder Hey Children's Hospital in Liverpool. Later in the show, we'll be in Derbyshire with the Hayfield Sheepdog Club. And Jake Carter will be entertaining us with one of his songs. So sit back and enjoy the show. Now, Stretford Victoria Football Club in Manchester recently celebrated 40 years. So many young players have come up through the ranks and signed professional for other clubs throughout the country. And we went along to meet the two men who started it all off. Joy, 1977, a very special year for you.
Very much so. The year my daughter was born, and also the year when Stretford Victoria was founded by myself and Tommy Howard. Workmates at Kellogg's, and we spoke about different things. We were both football people, Man United fans, but Tommy had two boys, I had one boy, and we were interested in getting a football team together. So from then, we actually made an advert in the local newspaper to come to our local park for all the children to come together. And from that, we got two teams, an under-13s and under-15s team in the 11 Zoom League in 1977.
And of course you've had a lot of young boys come and play for you here, and a lot of them have gone on to make big names for themselves.
Very much so. Our first main guy was John Sheridan, who I was after for quite a long time. He was at City, and then he was released at 13 and a half, 14, and I knew of the family, and he used to watch us train in the park, in Victoria Park, and eventually, when he was released with John Bond at City, we chased him and he came on board, and he played for us for 3 years. And of course, he went on to play for Leeds United, Forest and Sheffield Wednesday, and also the Republic of Ireland. And he was our first main player to come through Stretford Victoria.
Now, Tommy, of course, you've had a great association here with Joey down the years, and you've done a lot of things, the two of you together.
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't know if Joe remembers that we used to go and help the Cubs. Do you remember the Cubs?
That's right.
And that's before we had Stretford Victoria.
That's right, we did.
And, you know, my oldest son, he was in that, in the goalkeeping. And we got to the final, but we got beat 5-0. I'll never forget that. But that was like a starter to see what we were doing, you know. And from there, like Joe said, that's how it came about, you know.
You must take great pride in, you know, bringing young boys to play football here, and then you see the professional clubs coming down to look at them, and they have the scouts down and maybe sign them up, and that must give you a great sense of pride that you got them lads off the street.
From the lower ones, I remember that Nottingham Forest wanted to have a look at our goalkeeper, and another lad, I forgot his name now, he went to Leeds United for a while, but they didn't get taken on. But it was nice to know that they were looking at play, you know, under 13s. It was wonderful, yeah.
And here we are tonight celebrating 40 years of the club. It's magnificent.
Well, I'm absolutely fantastic to see Joe again, because I moved out of the area. So, you know, and I lived out just other side of Bolton, you know, and I you know, miss it all. But Joe kept it all going, which is fantastic. But when I think about it, when we came from United on the way home, we'd be talking about getting a team together. And that's how it started, just having a chat. I'd like to do something like that, and that's how it started. And that's like I say, Joe got them all together, and all the training was fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Great to see Stretford Victoria Football Club doing so well, and if you'd like to join them, get in contact. Now, James Keenan and Chris Whitehead have been working really hard behind the scenes organising a special fundraising walk from Donegal to County Clare to raise money for the Alder Hey Children's Hospital, and we went along to catch up with them and see how the plans are going. Kath, tell me a little bit about the history of Alder Hey Hospital.
Okay, well, Alder Hey Children's Hospital is 103 years old now, so we've been around for a long time. We've treated many millions of children over the past 100 years plus. We recently moved into a brand new hospital, Alder Hey in the Park, in October 2015. So it's a world-class facility now for the fabulous surgeons and clinicians we've got on site. We treat about 275,000 children every single year from all over the UK and further afield. Average stay is about 3 days, depending on what the condition of the child is, whether they've just come in for a minor operation or they're in for something more significant in a bigger period of time.
Of course, fundraising for the Alder Hey is vitally important, isn't it?
Absolutely. Alder Hey Children's Charity exists purely to support the children and the families at Alder Hey Children's Hospital. The charity provide all sorts of different equipment, research facilities for the children, for the adults, the parents that come in through the hospital each day. Our aim is purely to make the stay at hospital as comfortable as possible and make the experience, I'm reluctant to say enjoyable, but actually when children come in with the families to the hospital, there's lots of smiley faces. We keep them distracted with all kinds of different digital applications that we're looking at now. So we live in a digital age, so we've got children who can come in, be entertained by, it might be the virtual fish tank that we've got in one of our waiting rooms, which is one of 2 in the world, because obviously with the hospital sometimes there's a little bit of waiting round to go to appointments, so we keep the children distracted, which means they're less stressed about going into the hospital. If the children are less stressed, the parents are less stressed. So the charity exists to provide equipment, to provide distraction for children, so that when they come into hospital, they can come in, they can rest assured that they're being treated in the very best place. But they're also, the more we can distract them, the less medication they have to have, and the better the experience generally throughout the hospital.
Now, for our viewers tonight, if they wanted to make a donation or help out Alder Hey in any way, how can they do that?
They can do it in a variety of different ways. They could give us a call in the office. They could sign up for a regular gift. They can make a one-off donation. They could throw themselves out of an aeroplane and be sponsored for it. They can do their own event. Basically, anything that people are interested in and would like to get involved in Alder Hey and make a difference to these 275,000 children every year would be fabulous. Whatever event it is, or whether they want to join our lottery or join in one of our events, if they want to get their company involved. There are so many different ways that people can really make a difference to children now and in the future. And you can just give us a call in the office or send us an email. If you want the email address, I can give that to you shortly. So, yeah, there's all manner of different ways that people can get involved, and we'd be delighted to speak to people to give them some advice and help them with the fundraising.
Now, I've been joined by the 2 organisers of the walk. That's James Keenan and Chris Whitehead. Now, James, can you tell me, where are you starting the walk from?
We're starting the walk from Letterkenny, County Donegal, on Saturday the 2nd of September.
OK, and give me an idea then of your route from Donegal.
We're going from Letterkenny and we're going into Donegal town, and we're going from Donegal town, we're going to Sligo, and from Sligo we're going to Ballina.
That sounds like a lovely scenic route.
It's absolutely, you've got everything. You've got the countryside and then you've got the Atlantic coast. It's beautiful.
You've obviously thought about this very carefully.
We've a lot of planning into it, and it's absolutely, we think it's the best route for us all. And
great stuff. Now, Chris, from Ballina, what's the next part of your route?
We're walking from Ballina, Martin, and then we're going on to Tuam. We're stopping at the Bridge Bar, Dave Cohen's pub, and he's putting food on for us and everything in the afternoon. And we're going to carry on to Galway for that evening.
Are you sure you'll be able to walk after coming out of that Bridge Bar?
As long as we don't leave it too late.
Now tell me, from Galway then, what's the rest of your route, Chris?
We're going from Galway to Doolin, through Kinvara and on through the Burren in County Clare.
And then are you stopping off anywhere in all of that route?
That evening we're having a surprise party in Murty McMahon's bar in Ennistimon.
Another sounds like another good evening.
Oh, it'd be a great night, Martin. That's why we're walking at 1 o'clock the next day and not early.
So are you going to finish the walk then the following day?
Yeah, the following day we're going to start at 1 o'clock from the visitor centre in the Cliffs of Moher down to Liscannor to McHugh's pub.
All right. Now, of course, look, it's going to be a bit of fun. It's going to be a relaxed time for walking, but the main aim of the thing is you're trying to raise money for the Alderhay Hospital.
It is, Martin. That's our main object, is raise money for the Alderhay Children's Hospital.
Now, James, people can join, can't they, if they've not got their own, if they want to raise money for their own charity?
Yeah, everybody's welcome. They can do their own charities, whatever they want, but we just want numbers and help, as much help as we can get, all for their own charities, plus our charity, the Alderhay.
We wish the two boys the very best of luck with their fundraising walk, and we hope that they raise loads of money for the Alderhay Children's Hospital. Now we're going to take a very short break. See you soon. I'm going to have a sit out here in the sun. Glorious day. Welcome back to the Irish in the UK. Now don't forget, we're here every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock with Henry McGlade for the Irish at home and abroad, and I'm back at 7:30 with the Irish in the UK. Now it's a glorious day, so we're off to Derbyshire Hills to join Hayfield Sheepdog Club. Gordon, it's been a lovely day up here at the Sheepdog Trials. Have you enjoyed it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Wonderful. Just the job.
How long have you been at the Sheepdog Trials?
What I should say about sheepdog trials?
Yeah.
Well, sheepdog trials were 40 years, running, break training dogs about 65. I started when about 10.
My goodness, you've spent a lifetime at this sport.
I have. There's not many lads could do what I've done. I used to walk 6 miles on a Sunday to a very talented man, Peter Priestley, and he put me right.
Okay, now I'm really interested how you train the dog, because we've seen the dog, he reacts to whistle control, he reacts to different things, but when he kind of sits on the grass and puts his head along and he just creeps up on them, how do you get him to do that?
Well, it all starts actually. A border collie will run after sheep. How he does it is his business. He'll either go straight at them or run at them round, cast out nicely, get behind them and bring them to you. But I start my dogs in a ring. I take them in a ring with a few sheep and I get them to go to right and say away, and then I keep on to that away and get him going round to the right, and then I stop him and then I start him to the left, come by, come by.
I've seen the dogs today react to the whistle control and all that. But when they lie down and they put the head down and they creep along, how do you get them to do that?
Well, you start them on the hands and then the whistle, and then you get to lie down, and then you ask them on. You see, you have a whistle, or you say walk on, or you have a whistle to bring him onto the sheep, and he will react to that command, either walk on, or you whistle. You see, you have a left, a right, a stop, and a walk on. That's 4 commands. That's the basic things that you teach your dog. After that, well, you take him out in the field, and the bigger field, and then more sheep, and the experience comes. You don't expect to go into a massive 10-acre field with 200 sheep and put a pup off and say right away, and it runs right around and does everything right, because it just run through the middle and make a fool of you and itself as well. Yeah. But that's how, yes.
What about the course now? Is there different courses that you take?
Oh yes, the different courses with double gathers. That's when you pick 3 sheep up and come down through the fetch hurdle, and you have to redirect your dog back for another 3 sheep. Now that is not easy to teach a dog to do, because sometimes you have to turn back for 400 or 500 yards, you know. Like in the international and that, it's so big courses, really big.
And is the competition fierce?
Oh aye. Oh yeah, there's some good men today. Oh yes, there's some good men.
Have you won much in your lifetime?
And I won Hayfield Trial in 1983, and I got in the English team with her in 1985. So I thought, well, it's not so bad.
It's looking good here at the moment. It's looking good, Martin. It's looking good, but just wait and see. It's looking good, Martin. They're going through the pin. That's it. Lovely. He's going to flank them all the way around to the right now and push them right back up to the field up the top. Now, this is basically the round complete, actually, once he's through the chute.
Jim, can you tell me, when did you first get involved with sheepdog trials?
About 25 years ago. I started sheepdog trialing here. It's Hayfield Sheepdog Trials and Country Show about 25 years ago. I ran in the beginners, and Hayfield Sheepdog Trial and Country Show is only up the road. So I ran in the beginners and I come second against a young lad of 13 years of age. So that's how I got involved with the trials here. So we have moved on since, nice and steady, with dog trials and organising dog trials here and there, including this one, and around Derbyshire and Cheshire, Staffordshire. So yes, we have a...
Now, a lot of work goes into it, Jim, doesn't it? Let's face it, we were watching the dogs there today, you know, controlling the sheep, bringing them through the pens. How much time do you spend at training a dog?
Oh, you can start training a dog when it's 14 or 15 weeks of age, if it's interested. You'd only want to start training that every other day or slowly for 12 months and keep bringing them along nice and steady for 12 months or 2 years. You only have a real good dog at 3 years, would you believe? So there's a lot of work involved in training dogs and getting them right. But there's also a very fine line with a sheepdog. You can either, you know, go over that line and get it sick of trialing, or you can just keep a balance. But it takes about that time to bring a dog along.
Now, of course, this is very popular up in Derbyshire, isn't it, the sheepdog trials?
It's very popular in Derbyshire, yes, but it's very popular all over the country. It's very popular now worldwide, actually, and bigger it's getting, would you believe? Bigger and bigger. So we have a club in here. Hayfield, you know, is involved in it. Derbyshire, Cheshire and Staffordshire sheepdog trials, all coming up in the winter times. We bring out young dogs on here that's never been out before, managing these sheep. They're all over the place, some of them, but at the end of the season, they come out very well as nice, smart dogs. So, yes.
So is it like a wintertime sport?
No, it's not a wintertime sport. It's pretty much an all year round. But we do from about September here in our, and most young dogs, nursery dogs, from about September till January, February. And then the trials finish for the young dogs.
Rebecca, would you recommend this to other ladies as a sport?
Yes, definitely. It's about understanding, having an understanding with your dog and going out there and enjoying it. And I certainly would recommend it, and we need more people to start trialling. So young handlers, ladies, anyone that's willing to get out there and have a go.
Yeah. And of course you're out in the outdoors as well, and it's lovely countryside up here in Derbyshire.
It is lovely, but it can be very cold and wet and full of snow in the winter. But that doesn't stop us. We'll still be out here, whether it's rain or shine.
Gordon, I believe you've got a joke for us.
Oh, I've got hundreds, but I'll tell you one that really gets a smile sometimes. I was in the local pub, and a lady said to me, my word, you and these collies, they're so intelligent. I said, love, you can teach them anything. Honestly, I said, absolutely anything. I said, I have one, she sleeps at the side of the bed. I said, and one Sunday morning, I said to her, I nipped downstairs, I wanted 2 pieces of toast and 2 boiled eggs. I said, up she come with the toast, came up with the eggs, put them down on the side and stood on her head at the side of the bed. And the wife says, what's she doing that for? I said, she knows very well we've no egg cups.
Jim Hussey has certainly taught me a thing or two about how to train dogs, but we really enjoyed the day with him up there in the Derbyshire Hills. Now we're going to play you out with a song from Jake Carter. We hope you've enjoyed the show this week. Don't forget we're back next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock with Henry McGlade for the Irish at Home and Abroad. Until then, thank you for watching.
From over here, things look pretty good. I can't help but stare. That dress, those eyes, sweet smile under a neon light. You've got me in the mood, so I'm gonna break the beat down. Can I get a guitar sound? Come on and clap your hands now, and let's sing it out loud. Tonight we're having a party, yeah. Come on girl, sway your body, yeah. And you move it like this, you move it like that. Taking a one step forward and two steps back. Tonight we're having a party, yeah, in this town. What's that you're drinking? Can I buy you another one? I can't help myself. Those lips on mine, your hand holding me tight. We're gonna dance all night, so I'm gonna break the beat down. Can I get a guitar sound? Come on and clap your hands now, and let's sing it out loud. Tonight we're having a party, yeah. Come on girl, sway your body, yeah. And you move it like this, you move it like that. Taking one step forward and two steps back. Tonight we're having a party, yeah, in this town. So go and grab your coat and take my hand, let's go someplace nobody knows. It's just you and me, no one else can see underneath these stars.